What's going on, Team TaylorMade, and welcome to the first edition of our tour report. I am Sam Day, a tour representative for TaylorMade, and I am joined today by Alex Marine, who worked with me on the truck all week at Catalunya in Spain for the first truck event. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good. A little bit tired, but back in the office and we're back at it, so we'll go again.
Yeah, so I think that the first event for us is with the truck especially is very brutal, to say the least, isn't it? I mean, it's just a case of the first time we'll see all of our athletes from the Middle East where we haven't had the truck, so it's a case of getting the bags on the truck and MOTing them, and I'm sure that you've got a lot of things to add about what a bag MOT looks like.
Yeah, so we haven't been out with the truck since...
Probably Portugal last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, Portugal last year. So it's a very, very long time. Players are practicing hard over the winter on hard turf, off mats, indoor sims, so believe it or not, that can actually move loft and lie angle quite a lot, so it's important for us to get their bag on the truck. As Sam said, do a full MOT, so loft, lies, grips, and we'll do that for every single player we have in the field. So
yeah, obviously having 10 staff players
10 this week, yeah.
So for us, having the 10 staff players and having the ability to see all of those guys and for a longer period of time, which is nice for us to give them the best service possible.
Yeah.
And like you say, having the bags on the truck, I mean, at one stage I think we had like 3 or 4 bags on the go at the same time.
Yeah, it looked like a bag drop, didn't we?
Yeah.
Changing room.
Yeah, so we had all of those on the go and making sure we have all of the loft and lies recorded, which helps us going on in the season where you know, a player will phone us and just ask us for a club. We don't actually have to see what they're gaming. We know that it's a live player spec file and we know what their loft and lies, the length, the swing weight and everything there. So that makes our jobs easier on the road.
Yeah.
So a little bit on Catalunya, mate. Obviously, we were pretty much rooted to the truck Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, weren't we? I mean, yeah. I've got a lot of time on the range, sort of probably back end of Tuesday and all of Wednesday. But that Monday was tough, so obviously we're flying Sunday morning, right?
Yeah.
What time was your alarm? Because mine was early.
Picked up 5:30, so 4:30 alarm on a Sunday morning.
No, I was 5:30. You got an extra 10 minutes.
Yeah, but he's always early, isn't he? So, yeah, nice early alarm on a Sunday morning. The missus weren't too happy, but we got to get there early on the first truck event. Yeah. We've got to be there Monday morning, first thing. Truck doors open at 7:30. Everything's set up, ready to go. As always, there was a queue at the door, so it's so important we're there on the Sunday to get the truck set up, all the machinery, make sure we're all plugged in and ready to go.
Yeah, so on that, like the Sunday flight, 8 a.m. land, get the car, drive from Barcelona straight up to Girona.
Yeah.
And I've got to apologise publicly here because I actually went down the wrong side of the road. It's been a while since I've driven on that side, but yeah, I mean,
yeah,
you gave me
nervous there, mate.
You gave me a little nudge there, didn't you? But yeah, I mean, apologies for that. But we managed to get there in one piece. That's the main takeaway because we're here. So we get to the golf course Monday morning. Like you said, all of the player slots with the golf balls and the hats and the gloves, they're all loaded because we did that before it went. But obviously the truck does move a bit, doesn't it? So when we're lifting up that cover and the balls are flinging out and trying to hit you in the face, it's quite fun to try and do that. But how it would normally work and how it did work was I kind of sat out the back office and we got the entry list. We saw what players were playing while you were doing your thing, setting up your side of the truck. So what is it that you did there? Like Monday morning, what's the first thing you're getting out and making sure we're all good?
So we're getting all my gluing kit out, all the shaft beading, getting the heat rail out, make sure I've got full locked and loaded of weights, slug weights for irons. So just making sure I have everything I need. When a player comes on, I'm good to go. I mean, I use the analogy quite often. It's like being a chef in a kitchen, and Sam's kind of
the waitress, mate. You can
say
it.
I mean, I don't like to say that, but I need to make sure I have all my ingredients, so when an order comes in and is put on my desk, I've got every ingredient I need and I can put it together as quick as possible.
You're ahead of the game, right?
Yeah,
you're ahead
exactly.
of the game. So that for me as a rep, having that that I know you're prepared for it.
Yeah.
So
well, and luckily we both worked in kitchens and we've both been chefs, so it seems to work pretty pretty smooth, doesn't it?
We must be a nightmare on tour when we're eating at these restaurants. You know, food's going back. Oh, it's undercooked. That's over. But I mean, so yeah, the amount of orders we had in, we had a lot of requests for new wedges, which we kind of we knew we'd get right, because the Middle East was when they got their first drop of wedges for the season. They've hit thousands and thousands of balls, and a lot of people say, "Oh, how do they wear them through so quickly?" I mean, our wedges will last the whole season because we don't play as much golf, but they are literally pumping in the orders for wedges. You're knocking those out. We're getting bags on the truck. We're doing full MOTs. And just for the listeners on the MOT front, what we mean by that is just getting the bag on, doing our thing with it. Alex alluded to it earlier, just checking his grips out from Alex's perspective. But from my perspective, it's a conversation to have with the caddy, the player. Is there any gaps in the bag? Have they noticed anything come up short? Anything look long? Is there a certain shot pattern? You know, are they missing it right or left? And literally taking their spec from last year and trying to match it into that if they had a successful year, but then also spending the time with that player on the range and making sure they are, you know, hitting their yardages consistently and it's on a good flight, it's launching and spinning where we need it. So that is the sort of behind the scenes of the MOT, if you like. I'm not sure if you agree with that, mate.
Well, yeah, we can normally, we'll do the spec and we can normally tell straight away which clubs these players have been practicing with over the winter, because you'll notice gaps in the loft and lies, and you can tell them basically, you know, where they may have gapping issues, and generally they'll agree with you. So
it's either a 975 or 864, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's the clubs that are normally out. You're an odds guy or an even guy, and then that's kind of where we can spot the gaps there. So let's just run through a few of the players that we saw come through. We obviously said we had 10 this week.
Yeah.
So let's pick a player. Who do you want to start with, bud?
So let's go Tom McKibbin.
Okay.
A good starting point. Nice young lad, isn't he?
New signing for us. Northern Irish.
Really like Tom. He's a good lad. He's got heaps and heaps of potential.
Yeah. So I actually saw him at Wentworth, and you helped me out with the build there. So Tom has been testing. He's obviously put on a lot of speed and power over time, right? And I remember working with Tom when he was like 14 or something. So watching him progress through the ranks has been nice, but also with the speed and stuff as a fitter, you have to make sure you're staying with him. You know, the length of the clubs. I remember building him clubs that were a quarter of an inch short. He's now taller than me. So it's like he's now a half inch over, and the swing weights and the shafts are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. But Tom, we did a good session with him at Wentworth before, so we're kind of ahead of the game with him for the Catalunya week. Yeah. But we got his clubs on, right? We did the full MOT, we took the whole bag spec, and we noticed that there was a gap. There was a slight problem with the 5 and the 6 iron spinning a little bit too much and not quite going the number. So what happened there was I was on the range, I brought the golf clubs back to you, Alex. You just quickly bent them to two clubs. We went back out together, didn't we? And we just checked them over with him. But also his woods are phenomenal, aren't they?
I mean, he's very good.
180 ball speed. I mean, it was taking me back watching that sort of stuff going on the range. So,
but it's because you'd done that session with him a couple of weeks ago. It was a pretty straightforward check-in with him this week. Yeah, getting a full bag MOT, as we say, and just some small work on the irons with him. So that's really nice because it's some simple work, and he's gone away happy and confident for the week.
Just before we move on, I think Tom McKibbin was the biggest fan of Alex's tuck shop this week.
He was definitely the...
Just explain Alex's tuck shop quickly, just to the listeners.
So over the winter, I was trying to think of how we can make our truck a little more... You walk on and it's a bit more of an experience rather than you just come on just to get your clubs and you get out. So we obviously revamped the truck, so we've now got a little waiting area with a couch. So the players can sit down and chill out and chat, charge their iPhone or whatever. So I thought what a cool little addition would be to chuck some treats and sweets and nice cool drinks and stuff like that on there.
How much money did you make out of it? Did you get any money?
I was going around with my tip jar for the week, but it's still empty.
But I mean, Tom had a couple of packs of
M&Ms. Tom was a fan of the M&Ms, so he was a regular customer. So I'm sure I'll be seeing him again.
And by the way, a regular customer. But I think what I'm really happy about was that we stayed away from them. because I mean we're trying to be good this year, aren't we? Like in terms of it's very easy to have burger and chips all the time when you're on tour, right? Yeah. But we were like, we're not attacking the sweets, we're not having too much of it.
Yeah.
And we managed it. Although it was my birthday, we did well to stay away from it. But we were too busy working, mate, weren't we? Anyway, so
too busy to eat.
No lunch or anything like that, was it? So Tom, happy with him? Pretty much set up.
Yeah, as I say, it was a pretty easy check-in, and he's gone away happy. So.
He built him a 5-iron MC though, right? Because he's in TWs he had a full set of TWs, but then he played the 774 on, which is stronger, we know.
Yeah.
The gapping issue between the 4 and the 6 then became a problem.
Yeah.
So you building that MC 5-iron was for more forgiveness, I believe.
Yeah, more forgiveness, just a little bit easier to hit, and in that longer iron, and kind of just fills him with a little bit more confidence.
It got to the number perfectly, didn't it?
Yeah, so he's testing that, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay, so my turn up next. I'm going to go with probably the lowest maintenance player we've got on our team, which is Roman Langasque.
Yeah. I was going to do him, but we didn't end up doing much for him this week, did we?
I think this will be quite a quick one to touch on. But Roman, obviously, when I say low maintenance, I mean he wants his club set. He works hard to get the club set, and then you just let him go for the year, right? So for us, it was just a case of you probably spent more time with him, so you're probably best place to answer this question. But I believe he brought his bag on and he came on, talked a little bit, visited Alex's tuck shop.
Yeah.
And then
no, he's on a strict diet at the minute, I think he was saying, so he wanted a customer.
Yeah.
But Roman's always good to see, isn't he? He's a good guy. We have a good laugh. We have a good catch up with him. But yeah, full bag spec taken for in case club breakage or he needs new wedges or whatever. But we're trying to kind of explore wedge options with him, aren't we? Because he currently plays a 52 and a 58, and the 52's at 51 degrees. So he's got a 51 and a 58 essentially. So there's a big gap there from our point of view.
Yeah.
So this is something we've explained, and we're going to try and visit down the line, spend a bit of time with him, maybe to work in a 56 or a 54, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean he's fully against the idea.
Yeah, but he's not nudging, is he?
Well, he is a bit of a wizard with those two wedges.
He's very good. And,
that's the problem. Obviously, wedges, I love to have them all neat and tidy as the guys know out on the road. But I think that will be a long run up for that. But I'm sure that if we get one in there, I think we can definitely add some value there.
100%.
Roman was pretty much very, very easy to work with, as he always is. Let's go on to the twins.
Yeah.
Rasmus actually was just very easy again this week. Just a full update on the spec. His 5-iron crept strong, as you said earlier about hitting it off tight mats. He's obviously been working a lot at home in the cold of the Danish weather is right now. But 5-iron was 1 week, so we just strengthened that back to where it should have been. It was strong and we bent it 1 week, just so it fell back in line with his yardage gap in. And you also pulled apart his gamer driver and produced a really good backup actually, didn't you? Yeah,
I mean these boys have so much speed that it's so important for us to give them a backup driver head to carry in their bag in case anything does happen.
Also, they travel a lot as well, so if they travel and the driver snaps in transit and stuff like that. I mean,
so he's got that. We've given that to his caddy, so his caddy's going to travel with it all the time, isn't he? So, we're happy with that.
It's a direct replica as well, isn't it? So when I say about pulling apart the driver weights, and Al will get onto this, but we pull apart the back weight, see what that weighs. We also pull away the front track, but also, how do you go about finding a true loft and lie head that you're able to go all these ingredients into one head and then have an exact backup?
So as you say, we'll get his gamer, we'll pull all the weights out of it, we'll chuck them on our scales, so I know exactly what's in the back track, I know what's in the front track, and then I'll measure the dead head weight, so we know if there's any hot melt in there. And we can find the location, how much hot melt is in there, and then I'll go through my drawer of heads. I'll try and find a head which is a similar sort of loft and lie. I'll measure that, make sure it's spot on, and then I'll match the weighting up with that new head. So we know that he puts this new head on, and there's going to be no difference in launch, spin, ball flight. Yeah. So it obviously sounds quite simple there, but there's a bit more to it, but. we need them to carry backups, don't we, these guys?
100% all the time, mate. I think that it just puts us at ease as well, because we're not there for the tournament dates as well. So when we're there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, once they tee off, we've got to make sure that they're all set for any outcome that could happen.
Yeah.
So Nikolai, the other twin, again, he played some nice stuff last week. So it was a case of he was working on a lot of technical stuff with his coach this week. So we had to pick our moments there. Yeah. But he actually, unfortunately, had the thing where his 3-wood did go. So he actually had a problem with his 3-wood late on Tuesday.
Late
evening.
On your birthday, Tuesday. Yeah, we were just about to get off for the day
and have a nice bit of cake or something. You know what I mean? Sing happy birthday to me. But at the end of the day, we weren't, were we?
No.
We were on the range till gone 8 o'clock, weren't we?
Yeah.
But, so again, like Alex has just alluded to there, when you have a golf club that you love so much, like Nicola, I love that 3-wood. So when you're going back to the truck to build up a 3-wood that needs to be exactly the same, it has to be exactly the same. So using the golf instruments machine, we were getting true loft and lie, the length of the golf club, the swing weight, the hot melt location to get it to the swing weight, because he plays shorter, we have to add weight to it, get the right grip, the small details of the tipping of the shaft, how he likes his grip to be put on.
Yeah.
So I had full confidence in the way you build. And I just wanted to double check for my eyes, didn't I? And you were like, "Don't worry about it, mate. It's all good. It's all good." But I actually just needed to make sure, so I don't want to be sent back to the truck. But we actually went on the range, mate, and when I was looking at the numbers, it was literally like he was hitting his original gamer. So that was a really good build there, mate. And I think that he's had a lovely round this morning. So hopefully he's going to go lower tomorrow.
The thing is, these guys are so good that if the 3-wood has even a quarter more loft or a quarter less loft, or it's a hair flatter, they're going to notice this. So it has to be spot on, because otherwise it's like serving a bad dish at a restaurant. I'm getting it back in my kitchen, aren't I? And I'm having to start again.
There you go, mate. So I think that's all capped off well for the twins there, mate. So why don't you pick another player, mate, and then we'll kind of wrap this up with your build of the week.
Yeah.
And then we'll finish off with where we're going next.
Well, let's go another Dane. We'll go Marcus Helligkilde, who's obviously a new guy for us as well this year. Got his one challenge tour, didn't he, last year? So this was kind of a check-in for Marcus, and it was kind of less than building clubs. We just kind of sat him down and had a chat with him, didn't we? And what we forget sometimes is these guys have never had this level of service. So they've never had a tour truck at every event. They've never had reps on the range. They've never had guys building their clubs at events. So we kind of sat him down and explained how we work and how we can help him progress and better his game. So he's a very technical guy, isn't he?
Extremely technical, and he challenges me as well as the fitter, because he has so many golf shots in his locker that when you're actually fitting him, you're not fitting him for one shot. You're not fitting him to hit a draw or a fade or a straight shot. He wants to be able to hit all of them.
Yeah.
So when you're fitting that golf club, it needs to be able to do anything. And I'm talking about his wedges as well.
Yeah.
I mean, every golf club has a different window of flight, a different way he wants it to spin. He wants to be able to shape it both ways. And for me, it was it's good, really good. It challenges me working with him. But like you say, mate, like he's now really putting some trust in us now.
Yeah.
And that's a really big thing. If you can trust your clubs, you can trust the people that are working on them. There's a reason why we're employed to fit them and build them as opposed to hit them, mate, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's one thing we're trying to get across to him, and he's really taken that on board.
Yeah.
He's going to have a little bit of a break after this week, but when he comes back out, I think that we'll be back to firing on all cylinders with him and helping him progress, like you say.
Well, you make a good analogy, don't you? It's like getting your clubs done is like going to a barber. You've got a barber, haven't you? And you go to them every time.
Oh, always.
If he's not there, you're not going in, are you?
Oh no, I'm going home.
So you've got for a month. With him, it's the same deal. We've got to get the trust in him that we're there to fit his clubs and build his clubs. You know.
Yeah.
So I just like that analogy.
Yeah, exactly, mate. So I think again that was probably the key work that we've kind of done at Catalunya, mate. Wouldn't you say? Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
It was a very busy week and there was a lot going on, but I think that's kind of a good little round up there. Yeah.
So it's that part of the tour report now where it comes to Alex. And Alex, what is your build of the week, mate?
Well, I think it's tough to choose because there's so many, but one that sticks out in my mind would definitely be Nico.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, as we mentioned before, we were just locking up, leaving for the day, your birthday off for a bit of cake, and we get that call. The worst's happened, we need to replace his freewood. So you went out to the range, brought it back, we spec'd it up, we built up a direct replacement, and within 2 hits you knew it was good, didn't you?
Yeah, just looking at the numbers, I think that hearing you talk about that, I think that was a vital part of our work this week, and I think it's a worthy winner of Alex's build of the week.
Yeah, well, it goes back to, like we were saying earlier, in building direct replacements loft for loft, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that kind of highlights the importance of it, and that's definitely one that stood out for me.
Yeah, good job on that one, mate.
Yeah.
So that's to wrap up the tour report for this week. Hope you've enjoyed listening to that. What is up next for us, Al?
So early start Monday, heading to the Belfry for the British Masters.
Am I driving or you?
I think you can drive, mate.
Okay.
I'll be waiting for the knock on my door.
All right. By the way, he is like completely the opposite part of town to pick up as well. I thought he would have.
So Belfry. It's obviously a big event.
Yeah.
We're gonna have probably 6 or 7 guys in the field again, aren't we?
I think we've got 8 there next week, mate. Yeah.
And it's kind of an iconic event now, isn't it, for us over here? So
it's like a home fixture for us as well. We don't have to get on a flight or anything.
Exactly, so that's always nice.
A couple of hours up the road.
Yeah.
I'm DJ though. If I drive, I'm the DJ.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the TaylorMade Tour Report. Stay tuned for more reports to come throughout the season. If you want to see more of what we do on the road, you can find us on Instagram @TaylorMade Tour.